Hey, it's the second part of the video for Japanese internment on April 13th, 2020. Mr. Wagner here. Another thing we're talking about, I'm going to make the screen larger, this should work. The treatment of Asians in history. In 1882, we made a Chinese Exclusion Act, closing the door to Chinese immigrants. They were coming in also on the West Coast and coming in and actually helped very importantly with our making the transcontinental railroad and getting through the Rockies, and the job of like going in with dynamite and blowing up the area and hopefully you run out before. But they were taking jobs. So you're gonna hear that. They're taking our jobs thing. You hear that a lot in history, in American history. It wasn't they're taking our jobs thing, the Japanese. It was more of a fear because of what happened at Pearl Harbor and the use of propaganda of that through newspaper articles and the radio to get people anti-Japanese. They're all bad. Well, are they really? I mean, obviously they did a terrible thing, the ones that did attack our country, but are they all bad? Probably not. The U.S. government can suppress some civil rights during wartime. This is true at any time. Even Abe Lincoln did this. He got rid of your writs of habeas corpus. You could be arrested at any time and detained indefinitely during the Civil War for trying to help the other side or cause a rebellion. In World War I, Chang versus USA, a free speech issue. If it causes a clear and present danger, your free speech can be taken away in that regard. It can't be just taken away at any time. Japanese internment could happen. It was constitutionally won in the court case discussed in video number 1, where the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the U.S. government, and you can take an entire race and imprison them if you're trying to figure out who's a spy and who's not. It doesn't say how long that they would be in, internment, but that's just something that could happen. Moving this out of the way for a minute. I need to shrink this video. My voice just squeaked. That just happened. Lots of things come to mind with Japanese internment. Very famous person who was an intern and part of internment, he was a child at the time, was George Takei. On your screen, you'll see him there. He is in Star Trek. His name was Zulu. And then he's also on like Cartoon Network or this other channel, TBS, and he goes, "Oh my!" That's his like thing. They compare internment to World War II concentration camps. Compare and contrast can be done. Obviously, we weren't trying to wipe out an entire race like Hitler was with the Jews. They were keeping people in place, and the idea with the Jews was first to keep them in place because they could be trouble, and then it changed and mutated in Germany towards like the final plan to take out all Jews. And that never happened with the Japanese. It was just a temporary thing. Way different here. Just figure out who's a spy till things settle down. You might have terrorist type of acts against the Japanese if they stay in society. Could be for their safety too. I kind of didn't think that at first, but I could see that happening. Keep them safe by keeping them in one place. Other people compare internment to, this is a picture of one of the detention facilities. So immigrant detention centers, the new internment camps. This article is pretty neat. I was reading. And the idea is basically people are detained that are trying to enter illegally, and unless they can afford to go through the natural way that, for example, my wife wasn't a citizen when I married her. Like, that's not why I got married. But then they have to like pay and do the paperwork and whatnot. If you're just trying to come in and get visas and whatnot, you can be sent back now. And then we see a lot of places where they keep the kids in these detention centers in the United States that are like not very good conditions, and the parents get deported, or they take people that have been here for a long time and then grown up, but their parents didn't do the paperwork quite the right way. And then they send the people back that are like my age that have been here their whole life because they didn't go through the paperwork or their parents didn't go through the paperwork. So that's compare and contrast. It's kind of like what they do today, because we're trying to keep all the people in one place. The president identifies a danger of increased gang violence, drug-related crimes, and other crimes related to people that come in illegally. Opponents of what he's saying, people who don't agree with him, say you can't take, it's not even humane to take people. It's not wartime versus Japan and World War II. You can't just take people and put them in a place. And it's inhumane. So it kind of compares with that aspect with people coming